Well, thank you for your patience. I'd like to welcome everybody to our City Council meeting, August 4th, 2026 at 7 p.m. I hereby call this meeting to order. For those who are in our chambers today, if you wish to speak during the public comment portion of the meeting, please complete a request to speak card located on the sign-in table and turn it into our city clerk prior to the public comment time. If you are attending by Zoom, please use the raise hand option during public comment. It is recommended that you seek resolution of a complaint through the appropriate city department by scheduling a meeting with a city council member or city staff before bringing the matter to the city council. We'll stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, so we'll do the roll call. I see that we have Chief Hughes and Heather Baumgarter online. So, and we have what, five council members here today in person. So we have a full quorum. Prearranged presentations, sanitary disposal. You're up.
Hello, thanks for allowing me to speak today. I'm just super excited that I don't have to ask for any money. So I'm super excited about that. So just to kind of give you a little background, my boss retired and he was an operations guy through and through. My new boss is an ex-controller and he's a numbers guy. So one of the things, he took over in July. One of the things that he really looks at are what are ways that we can make a better customer experience. And his idea was for us to take over customer service, billing, collections, everything from all the cities that are doing it now at no cost. Everybody stays whole. We just take it over. That way it's a lot cleaner for the customers. So I've went to Stanfield, Echo, Hermiston. I'm working with Brandon and his team. Our first transition is going to be the city of Stanfield. And so we're working through their data to clean it up. But depending on the size of the city, it depends on how fast we can kind of cut through the data to make sure it's accurate. But it's about probably a 4 to 5 month transition once we start. And that's putting a lot of stuff on the tail end to make sure that, we don't have a lot of bumps and bruises along the way. So, but the end result for us is just, it's a centralized billing for the customer under one provider, faster response time and improve issues for resolution, greater accountability and operational efficiency, and consistent communication streamlined with a customer experience. I can't tell you how many times, and it's not only the Boardman community, but how many times I'm sitting in my office and I can hear the customer staff on their phone trying to explain something to either one of the cities or one of the counties, when it's hard to navigate our world of garbage when, I want to say a rear load container and they'll say roll off. And so it just really cleans up the process. There's no smoke and mirrors in this. My team has enough room in their wheelhouse to completely take this over and just make it pretty easy for everybody. So, and I know that Brandon and I talk a lot, not that I don't mind talking to you, but one of the things that we do kind of deal with, and this is across the board, it's like the game of telephone when somebody will call the city and say, oh, I'm having a problem here. And then, Brandon's team tries to do it. They can't do it. Then Brandon gets a hold of me. Then I walk into the office. It is such a mess. Not that we're not doing anything wrong. It's just how it's all been kind of put in place. So with this transition, I just think it's just going to make it a greater experience and just a faster reaction from us, because I never want Brandon or anybody to call and go, oh, what's going on with this customer? I want to be able to figure it out and then send them on the way, making them happy. Cause that's what we do. So that's kind of it in a gist. Stanfield will be the first one that we're gonna transition through, but we basically just want to take it and we can pay you what we owe you on the 20th, and hopefully it kind of makes things a little bit cleaner for everybody. And you got your blue recycle cart, so.
So are we gonna get a separate bill? Or are we gonna, so it comes at, right now, we just pay you through the city.
Yeah, I'll have to, yeah, because you guys, there's a certain percentage that's added on to the bill, so we'll just have to figure it out. But yeah, I think we'll just cut you a check.
No, I mean, to the customer. So
That's up to you guys, whatever you want to do. That,
oh,
that 13% or whatever that you guys have added on there.
The bills that go to the.
so whatever my garbage bill is, do I not pay the city anymore and I just pay you? So
Yep.
I'm gonna get another bill.
But your other
Different
one,
bill.
your other one will be lower though.
Well, I get that, but now instead of one bill, I have to pay two bills.
It'll be separate.
And I think that's gonna be harder for some people. It's gonna be easier not to pay, thinking, oh, I just pay the city and I don't pay.
One more password you gotta remember.
That's the only thing I mean, it's probably a good deal, but I mean, as far as the citizens, I gotta write another check or I gotta do another bill.
How many customers do you do this for already?
I think we're at just a little over 6,000, I think. For the
Like
counties.
counts
For the count, none,
for the county?
just for the counties only for right now. Yeah.
How many issues do you have with data theft?
We're, with us being a publicly traded company, Waste Connections is very thorough when it comes to that stuff. There's continuous upgrading to our system and especially internal training with the staff too. So we haven't had anything. And I've been with Waste Connections going on, I think 20 years now.
Because I imagine as your customers increase or whatever, the likelihood of that happening will obviously increase. So that's why I bring that up. Sorry, I'm not talking close enough.
So currently, I think you come to us annually for a rate increase, but that would discontinue with this new system.
No, I'd still come in. I still need the approval for that. So I would still come in, I think it's around March or April and request whatever, because I think we're to the point where we're just at CPI right now. So it would just be requesting the CPI. So yeah, nobody'd get their bill and you'd get a call and go, do you see what sanitary did? It wouldn't be like that.
Okay.
Yeah, we still have to go through the only thing is we're just going to be taking a lot of stuff off Brandon's team's plate, puts it on ours, and we can do garbage things and you guys can do city things.
So I think we are like 8%. We did like is it 13? So are you going to need more than 13 or can you do it for less?
That's all. I'm not taking any money. Everything is how we're doing it right now. We're good. That 13 is still, you guys do whatever you want to with it.
Oh, so
I'm not
13% will
asking-
come off the top of the cost of the.
It depends on what the council wants to do. So for me, I'm just saying, hey, give it to me. We're not going to charge anymore. It'll make it cleaner for the customer, cleaner for billing, especially on our end. So we're not asking for anything. We just want to take it over. It just, the process, especially with us doing the 7 cities that we have, each city is different. Each city has different billing dates, and it is probably one of the most challenging things to watch my customer service team try to rectify all of the cities because everybody does it different. Some don't pay on the collections, some only pay on how much, that we bill them. And so it's super challenging. So, it's nice when we can just do the billing. We can be the bad guys when it comes to collection and everybody can just kind of cruise. And I mean, really, the only time I want to hear from Brandon is if he wants something from me, because I love giving him stuff. And then, also if, when we have really positive customer feedback too. So,
Well, I like the blue bin.
all right, that's good.
So are you going to do I mean, I know you do a lot of the advertising for the recycling, that the city, we don't do as much as you do, I'm sure. And that's part of we have to do that for the state. So are you going to continue to keep up that advertising for us?
I'm gonna take a seat and I'm gonna let my new shiny penny Jessica talk here. So I'll let her introduce herself and she can go through all that, the recycling stuff.
Okay.
So I could answer, but then I'd probably mess it up. Do you guys have any more questions for me?
Just last question. If we're now paying you, are there the options to pay online,
Yeah,
automatic payments?
yeah, we have a lot of options when it comes to that. I think it's called Kubra or Cobra. It's one of, but yeah, we have a lot of things that makes that process a little bit more streamlined for sure. Cause we get, even though we're a small piece of Waste Connections, we still get all the benefits from it being just, a very large company. So
Are there any fees associated with using the online
don't-
platform?
I don't believe so, no, but I'll follow up and I'll let Brandon know.
Thank you.
You guys done with me? Huh. Here comes Jessica.
Hello. Good evening. So my name is Jessica Portillo, and I am super thrilled and honored to be stepping into the role of Sustainability Outreach and Education Coordinator. So my focus is going to be educating the community on these changes through the Opportunity to Recycle Act with the extra added of the Recycling Modernization Act. So all these changes brought on by the Oregon Recycling Modernization Act are designed to give recycling more consistent, more effective, and more accessible across the entire state. So with these, strengthening in the standardization of what can be collected, we also have a lot more cleaner material to give out. And so with DEQ's approved elements of statewide acceptance materials list, contamination reduction requirements, and education standards, sharing education throughout. Hopefully everything is going to be a lot nicer. It's a really fun time to be jumping in the recycling with all these nice changes. I, for one, am really excited to see all the clear images, and hopefully it's going to be really good. So I'll be working directly with residents, schools, businesses to build that understanding and that trust as well with all these new statewide rules. So we're going to be clarifying what goes in the bin and then promote simple habits that keep recycling clean and marketable. So this includes multilingual educational materials, targeted campaigns for high contamination areas, in partnership with local organizations to reach those audiences who have been historically underserved. So our outreach plan, contamination reduction, will largely focus on not just what can go in the bin, but what cannot go in the bin. And it's also, we're tying in a lot of the why language of why things can't go in the bin and why they can, which kind of helps a lot of the understanding of why items are contaminants. Contamination continues to be one of the biggest barriers to recycling. So hopefully that explanation and more clear promotion of that will help make this process easier. And for a more direct approach for giving that feedback directly to people, we want to try with a cart tagging program eventually. And this will be implemented to monitor contamination for further educate community. So the feedback will be given directly to the customers in a matter of different ways, as a cart on or a tag on their cart, through the mail, through email, and even phone calls. So we've had a really busy 2 months and a really busy month ahead of us. So we actually just updated our sanitary disposal page with a new recycling page. for residents. So this way, residents will be able to go on that page and hopefully find all the answers they need with extra links for DEQ, and as well as an updated waste wizard, which is continually getting some updates. So customers should be able to type in, where does this item go? And it should be able to show up exactly if it goes in their commingled, if it goes to the recycle on centers, or if it's a household hazardous waste item. We also have quite a lot of outreach events going on throughout the county, including a collaborative event with the Mattress Recycling Council. It's called Bye Bye Mattress, and this is a mattress and box spring recycling event hosted by Sanitary Disposal in Hermiston. This will be on Saturday, August 15th, 10 to 2 p.m. And I will also be there giving out recycled information about commingled. Basically, any chance I can get to be out there, I'm gonna be out there to help out. We also have an informational booth that's going to be at the Umatilla County Fair. So myself and our DEQ representative and multiple other community members will be out there as well, sharing information. We got a little taste of that today, of some of the stuff that they have, some really fun interactions that hopefully will make it really fun and engaging for people. So yeah, I really look forward to setting up future events. I believe I just got in contact with the Parks and Recs for Boardman, so hopefully gets out there at some of those farmers markets and squeeze into some other events as well. So yeah, I really look forward to working with you guys and giving you guys lots of fun updates on what's going on. So thanks.
Just real quick, can you schedule something with the clinic? They have a open house coming up, right? Yes, and you can and do a booth there. That'd be awesome.
When was
It's
that one?
in Elizabeth's not on.
Is it the 20?
Maybe.
I think I know what
During
one
the
you're
end of
talking
the
about.
year, that during the end of the year celebration?
Summer celebration.
Oh, they do a community appreciation
Yep.
barbecue. Liz has her hand, Elizabeth has her hand.
Oh, is that Elizabeth?
Yeah.
There's also the Morrow County Fair coming up in about 2 weeks. Take.
Somebody has their hand up, but I'll put mine up anyway. So can I bring my mattress over to Hermiston?
Yes, on the 15th, we'll have that.
So
event
they're
going.
not, because a lot of towns won't let you, just because you do the service, I want to make sure that if I load my mattress up, you're not going to tell me that I don't live in Hermiston.
No, it's a countywide event. You can bring it
Well,
in.
we're not in Umatilla.
Hermiston is
Statewide,
me.
sorry.
Statewide.
Okay.
It's just the most located area that we're hosting it, so they don't check where you come from. It's most important just to try and.
Well, I don't even own a
Sorry.
mattress.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
state program. It's like the electronics program where you can bring TVs in for free.
Okay.
Well, we say it's free, it's subsidized somewhere, but yeah, you're good.
Okay,
I'll come get your mattress.
okay.
Any other council members have a question?
Well, I do.
Okay.
Are you gonna leave the bins out here for the people that have like too much cardboard and stuff in that little blue thing?
Or a little bit. So we just received our 300-gallon carts for like apartment complexes. So once we implement that, then the only thing what will be there will be the glass boxes. But you can leave the cardboard next to your blue cart at no charge. You don't get.
You don't think that, you think the guy's gonna get out of the car, of his truck and put it in it?
Yeah. And if
Hot
they
dog.
don't, just
I'll call you.
me.
Well, see, over at the senior center it's a huge deal. Cause that bin may look big to me because I don't have anything hardly in it, but we would generate a lot of trash.
So you're saying the apartment complexes are going to get one? Like
Yeah,
a
they'll get,
bin?
it's a 300-gallon cart
Gotcha.
is what they'll get. And we have nothing is per the law, nothing is required for the multifamily right now. We're just getting ahead of it, so it's ready, because the next step will be commercial that the state will make us kind of dive into, so.
Some of the challenges with multifamily too is dealing with property owners as well. So, and not a lot of property owners are very close or connect well with their tenants. So it'll be a process. So while it's not required right now, we're hoping to get a hold of a few places that want to try it out so we can go slow with it and work out some bugs, because it's kind of a new process for a lot of places around Oregon, and everyone's kind of in the baby steps with it. So we're going to go slow with that and take our time, and it won't be a big rush like commingled recycling curbside was.
I was recently in Idaho, and the town that I was in had 3 bins, green, blue, and dark green. And the pale green one was for yard waste. Do you see anything like that in the future?
I think, and I know Jessica can probably speak on this better than I can, but I think eventually we'll see, because really the program is ever revolving. And I know that they're working on an organics thing. How it's gonna get pushed out here, I don't know. I know the place that we can take it to is just in the Dalles at Dirt Huggers. So we do have the ability to get to that system and be efficient, but it's all in what, the city and counties want. So at least on that part. I mean, the other one was.
Have you ever considered like a monthly yard waste bin, or
It's hard.
if I had my own bin?
Yeah, it's hard to do that only because you really need the cart that can attach to the arm of the truck, because
Sure.
it's safer that way. And when you only just have, like basically a subscription, so only when you have it out or call, it's really hard to keep the full price down
Oh, I
when
see.
you only have a handful of people. That's some of the challenges that we have with the rural parts of Morrow County. Because when you guys decided to do this and the UGB for Morrow County, it was easy for us to take that price of $8 and spread it across everything. Now, if we were to go to some of the rural stuff or add another service, we don't have the capital anymore, because we got the trucks paid for, the carts, all the education material that Jessica gets is all paid. And then also for us to even get the material off the curb to sanitary and then to the Portland market to get it shipped out, that's all paid for too. So I know, I think we all hear a lot of things, and it's always that 1 or 2% that are just upset that this is happening. But I think the end result is this, even though some of it was pushed, I think this is a really good program for the state of Oregon. And don't get me wrong, I don't like anybody telling me what to do either. But I really do think it's going to be a good thing. I think the dust will settle with this. They'll change the speed limit on 395 or 84, and then that'll be the big topic or something. So, but I don't get me wrong. I was a young kid when I was a garbage man. I didn't want anything to do with recycling glass. I hated it all. Now it's just my world. And, I'm thinking about my grandkids, if we have.
I think it's a good mindset to be encompassing for all these things as well. To just be aware of different ways that we can divert things from going to the landfill, or other ways where we can help divert to the proper channels, composting. And I know right now the main focus is the commingled recycling and helping everyone, understand it a little better and get up to speed and feel comfortable and confident and trust it. But I would really like to also keep talking about, upcycling and donating items, and, other ways that we can help repair items instead of throwing them away, and being more aware of the items that we do throw away. So I think this is also just a good way to get our feet in there and have our community be more aware of things like that.
Thank you.
Welcome.
All right. Anybody else have any questions? I think you're off the hot seat.
You didn't ask for money either.
All right, our next one is Housing Advisory Committee.
All right, we have Nathan Wildfire,
Hi,
who is
everybody.
right there. Go ahead,
Nice.
Nathan.
Nice to see you all again. I'm going to remind everybody what we talked about last time. What we're here to talk about is the Housing Advisory Committee's recommendations or thoughts about a tax reimbursement program for the city of Boardman. The intention behind it is to facilitate and incentivize development that you all want, or that your city wants. This originally started as a housing proposal from developer Cobalt, who's proposing to build 240 rental housing units, who had seen the model in Hermiston that they use and proposed a variation of that to the city. The Housing Advisory Committee is reviewing that proposal. We had let you know at your last meeting that we were going to meet on July 21 and talk about it and then come back to you today. They are ready to make some recommendations, but have a couple things they still need to get to the bottom of. So they will meet 2 weeks from today and then come back to you at your September meeting. And for that September meeting, they'll have a formal memo. So as a reminder, this is what I showed you last time. The way that this works is that essentially a developer who is building housing, but it could also work this way for commercial properties, pays their taxes like normal. And this is just to be very clear, the reason the word city is bolded is it's just concerning city taxes, no other taxes. And so they pay their taxes as normal. If they're in construction or development, that tax bill is presumably lower than when everything is done and occupied based on whatever the assessor puts the tax figure at. And then the city then gives a reimbursement back to the developer of the property. So the way that Hermiston does it is because they recognize a project isn't typically totally done or totally occupied in years 1 or 2, and they have a strong incentive to try to get more rental housing built in Hermiston, which is like you, short on housing. They give a 100% tax reimbursement on city taxes for years 1 and 2. So in practice, the development pays the tax bill for whatever they're building or built, and then the city just sends it right back. And the reason is it's an incentive for the developer who otherwise would not be able to make that project make financial sense, pencil out. So it's an incentive. As a reminder, it's only taxes that they end up paying if they build the thing. So generally, the taxes that that property is generating currently are zero or de minimis, very small. So it's only concerning taxes that generate when the actual thing is built. Then in the Hermiston model, the reimbursement declines over the following 4 years, so that in year 6, it's only a 25% reimbursement on city taxes and then zeroes out. So after year 6, they're just paying taxes like normal forever. Cobalt came to the city and said, we like that model, but instead of this descending tax reimbursement program, we would propose a 25% tax reimbursement, which is what Hermiston offers in year 6. That's the end of their thing for 10 years. So that's what Cobalt came, and our Housing Advisory Committee has been looking at both of these and seeing if there's a middle ground. And so this is kind of what the Housing Committee came up with. It's down here at the bottom of your screen. They thought that 10 years was too long, and that a 25% tax reimbursement for 5 years made some sense, and possibly could be a bigger reimbursement, much like Hermiston, in year 1. They were kind of debating between 50% and 75% of year 1. So it's not quite the Cobalt proposal in terms of 10 years, and it's not quite the Hermiston proposal in that big descending. They also had 2 big unanswered questions. The first was concerning home ownership. Basically, what happens if a developer comes and proposes houses for sale? Well, once they sell the home, presumably that developer isn't paying taxes anyway. So is this a benefit that would then accrue to the homeowner over time? It might not be the right incentive for a home ownership development proposal, right? Because the reason Cobalt and the city of Hermiston like the proposal above is because somebody builds a thing and holds on to it for a long time. So that makes sense then for them as a development incentive. If you're doing home ownership, your goal is to build them and sell them immediately. That's how you get your capital back. So maybe a tax incentive of this kind doesn't make sense for home ownership, or maybe it goes to the home owner, or maybe it goes to the homeowner and on a change of ownership, it transitions. It's over. It's done, right? It triggers out. So that's an unanswered question that the housing committee is sorting through and would then have a recommendation for you at your next meeting in September. And then the other question was, what do we do about projects that are already started but aren't done? Could there be a tax incentive for phases yet to be completed on projects that have already begun in your community but are not done? Basically, if you create a new policy, if you create a new incentive, but it's happening in the midst of someone's project, do they have the ability to access that incentive or not? So that's kind of what they are still sorting through. I'm not asking you for action today. I welcome your feedback, but the committee will meet 2 weeks from today to sort through some of these remaining questions and firm up what they think about this type of a proposal for you all. That's their task. That's what you've empowered them to do. And so they're doing that. And then one last reminder, they also are sorting through whether this would make sense for commercial properties. Even though they're the Housing Advisory Committee, they think, well, maybe this, in fairness, could be used on both commercial and housing as a development incentive, again, to see projects that you all want to advance go forward in Boardman at no cost to the dollars you already have in your piggy bank. I'll pause there because that's what I have to report.
Does anybody have any comments or questions?
I have a
Mr.
question.
Rockwell.
So my only concern about something like this, because I understand the benefit of it, is that we give them the tax break and then they turn around and raise the rent or raise the price or whatever. So who did it benefit the most? Just the seller so they could make more money? Because I think that's kind of what's been happening with the BCDA grant is we offer the grant or BCDA offers a grant and then the home builder just turn around and raise the price, hoping to get that additional $5,000 out of the buyer's pocket. So that would be my concern is it really benefiting the person that's either going to buy a home or rent, or are they just turning around and just going to raise everything up anyways and make even more money?
Let me say that back to you
Right.
just to make sure I got it, because that's a good question that we would want the housing committee to consider. If you would create an incentive like this, what is then to prevent the developer from immediately raising the price from what they presumably told you it would be in terms of rents and their rent roll and their pro forma, or the sales price of a house? So
Yes.
is there a way to legislate, not legislate's the wrong word, but is there a way to lock in, I presume, a rental price plus inflation and or a sales price plus inflation? Am I getting that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I guess that's what I would ask, or I would want at least an answer of.
Yeah. Yeah, we can talk about that for sure.
Any other comments or questions?
It sort of sounds like an enterprise zone agreement in a few ways. And so I'm wondering, in that example, we would want to make sure as a city that we're taking into account if there are any geo bonds that are passed in the city jurisdiction or the county jurisdiction that those homeowners or those landowners and developers would be paying towards those geo bonds. And we would want to be, I think there are just some examples in the enterprise zone agreements that we could utilize as both incentives and tools for ensuring that the product we get is what we thought we were getting when we started the conversation.
We can check that out for sure. And you're also touching on another thing that we have to, I think we're fine, but we've been chatting a lot about the URA for example. So Cobalt's not in the URA, but in the future you might have a developer choosing to propose something in a zone that already takes some portion of those city taxes and then obligates them to pay debt associated with infrastructure that the city's putting in. So you would want to be very thoughtful about making sure that your URA is aware of this tax reimbursement and that all things are being accounted for properly. I know that's not exactly what you were just talking about. I think the examples from the EZ agreements are a thing we could look at for ensuring you get what you want. But you triggered my brain to remember our conversation about other special taxing districts and how it would coexist with this type of a proposal.
Anybody else have any comments or questions? All right.
Cool. Thanks, Nathan.
You're welcome. Thanks, everybody. See you
Thank you.
in a month.
All right. So now we're here for the public comment. The public comment period is an essential part of our local government meetings, and our council takes community input into consideration. However, in observance of Oregon meeting laws, this isn't a time for dialogue, but rather a time for us to listen to you. Our city manager will direct staff to follow up with you regarding your comments or questions. Anyone may speak on any topic other than a matter in litigation, a quasi-judicial land use matter, or a matter scheduled for public hearing at some future date. When your name is called, proceed to the podium and speak clearly into the microphone. Begin by stating your name and address, and then express your view or offer your suggestion in a courteous and considerate manner. Remember to direct all remarks and questions to the council through the mayor. It's not appropriate to address the audience or the staff directly. Each person has 3 minutes to speak. Is there anybody who wishes in the audience who would like to do public comment? How about online? I see a hand raised.
We have Jim Doherty online with his hand raised.
Okay, Mr. Doherty, you have the floor. Mr. Doherty, it is your time to speak. Is there anybody else online that would like to speak? Is there a problem on our side? Has he been raising his hand throughout just raised it?
I can hear you just fine.
Thank you, Heather.
All righty, well, we have a couple other public comment things on here, and if he is able to come on, we'll gladly listen to him. There was an Oregon Rural Action Correspondence piece that didn't attach.
No letter attached.
Yeah, we just barely received it. We'll add the letter to the, sorry. We just barely received it this evening. We'll add it to the agenda next month.
Okay. And then we had 2 emails from Mr. Tallman. Everybody was probably able to read those emails. And then as well as we had the monthly report for the Chamber and BCDA. Mr. Doherty, are you around to share your comments? All right, sorry, Mr. Doherty, but we're gonna move on. We'll go into the consent agenda. Everybody had the opportunity to read the consent agenda.
I move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
And a thumb up.
and a thumb up. Okay, we'll move down to the action items. We have a ordinance 13-2026, an ordinance amending the Boardman Municipal Code to allow goats as tools to manage vegetation and reduce fire risk.
Yep. So with Karen's desire to have chickens, it's just expanded. So here we go. We're just a regular barn. Anyway, this is what we talked about last time. It's exactly what we discussed. There's the restrictions in there. The city has to be informed about who's going to be in the area. There's timeframes. There's specifications for whether they can use electric fence or not and how that's to be done. So, yep. That's all I got.
I move to approve the reading by title only of ordinance 13-2026, an ordinance amending the Boardman Municipal Code to allow goats as tools to manage vegetation and reduce fire risk.
I'll second that.
All right, we got a motion and a second. Is there any additional discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
It's
Thumb up.
unanimous. We don't have any opposed. We will go to action items. Oh,
He has to read it.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Ordinance 13-2026, an ordinance amending the Boardman Municipal Code to allow goats as tools to manage vegetation and reduce fire risk.
So I move to adopt ordinance 13-2026 and ordinance amending the Boardman Municipal Code to allow goats as tools to manage vegetation and reduce fire risk.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right,
A thumb up.
and a thumb up. All right, now we're ready. I just didn't do that right. Resolutions. Resolution 2026, a resolution adopting an Oregon Liquor and Cannabis Commission license application policy.
As we discussed last council, this is just a process to help just streamline what is asked of us, what would go to the council, an internal process. It just cleans it up a little bit.
I move to approve resolution 2026, a resolution adopting an Oregon Liquor and Cannabis Commission license application policy.
I'll second that.
Okay, I got a motion and a second. I got a question on here. I didn't
do
think we
too.
could sell cannabis
Me
in
either.
Morrow County.
That's the name of the division.
Oh, that's
Officially.
the name of a
Mhm.
division.
Okay, thank you. Because I was going to be the same way. Wait a minute, we can't sell that around here. Okay.
That's the name of the license.
Oh, That's the name of the official name of OLCC.
OLCC and C.
All right. We got a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye. And a
Any
thumb.
opposed? Okay. Let's see, we got a resolution. Let's
The
see,
finance
resolution 21-2026, a resolution to decrease contingency and to increase 2026, 2027 expenditures for materials and services.
Yeah, so this resolution is to be able to pay our bill to CIS for our liability insurance, our vehicle mobile equipment insurance as well. They have changed the way they do things. And so anything that we add to the policy, like if we purchase a new asset or one of the new infrastructures comes online prior to September 30th each year, then they will send us an interim invoice.
Otherwise, they save everything until renewal. We had a lot of infrastructure last year, so I kind of had to play the guessing game, how much I thought insurance was going to go up adding all of these. I was $45,000 short. So that's what this resolution is doing, is asking for the additional $45,000 to cover the invoice that we received. But if you remember, our building inspector, Jose, attended the drone schooling course in February, and you approved the policy last month in July. We have just recently received the drone. We haven't quite paid for it yet, so we need that to add it to insurance, which means we'll be getting an interim invoice. Again, not knowing what that's gonna be. Asking for another $3,000 on top of the $45,000 for the current invoice. So that's a total of $48,000, and then divided proportionately amongst the departments, the funds that are responsible for.
So we're just switching money.
Yes, it's in our contingency. So I'm just asking it to be allocated, appropriated for materials and services so we can cover that invoice.
So I move to approve resolution 21-2026, a resolution to decrease contingency and increase the 2026-2027 expenditures for materials and services.
I'll second that.
I got a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on that?
Insurance is expensive. It is.
That was a statement. I'm just teasing. Any other questions? Okay, yes.
Just a quick question, like just like our own personal insurance, like do you shop around? Do we just take what they are
So
saying it's gonna cost?
CIS only insures cities and counties. And the reason it was created years back was for that, to provide cost savings to cities and counties. And because they only provide cities and county insurance, they pool them all together to get the better rates. And there are a few really large cities who have gone either self-insured or sought otherwise. But this is really the best. And actually the biggest portion is the liability piece, which also includes if they sue the counselors, if they sue because they tripped on one of our sidewalks. The liability piece is huge. It's not as big our vehicles premium is not as big as the liability premium portion. So that is the biggest piece.
Any other questions or comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed with the thumb? There we go. All right, I see Kelly Doherty has her hand raised. Can you hear us, Kelly?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Would you still consider taking that public comment?
Yeah, that's why I asked you. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. This is Kelly Doherty for the record. I live at 68812 Wilson Lane. I'm here tonight because public trust is built on transparency, and that trust was compromised when this council entered into executive session under ORS 192-662F to debate the annexation of West Glen. Oregon law is clear. Subsection 2F is a narrow shield meant only to review written records explicitly exempt from disclosure. It's not a backdoor to hide contentious, community-altering policy debates from the very public they impact. Annexation, infrastructure, and local water access are matters of critical public interest. They belong in the light of day. When you cross the line from reviewing a privileged document to debating public policy behind closed doors, you violate the spirit and the letter of Oregon's public meeting law. You also lose our trust. I urge this council to commit to open government, to keep public debates in the public forum, and to ensure that all future discussions regarding West Glen happen where the community can see them. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Kelly. And for the record, Kelly, we did not talk about annexation of West Glen. So for everybody that is listening out there who are citizens of West Glen, we did not talk about coming and taking their land and making them part of the city of Boardman. We did not talk about make any decision about annexation. I'm not sure where that has come out. So that is no discussion of annexation of West Glen has been talked about. Okay, thank you for sharing your opinion.
Can you go back and review your minutes to the planning commission meeting where your planner said that it came out of executive session? And I believe that Karen Pettigrew agreed and Mr. Rockwell agreed as well.
No decision has been made on annexation.
No discussion.
We
Yes,
can't,
I,
we
I,
can't
under,
make,
I understand that. I'm not saying the decision, I'm saying the discussion.
thank you
Thank
for
you.
sharing. Absolutely. All right, we'll go into our financial report.
Nope. Source water protection plan. Sorry.
Oh, well, I've got two different things on here. Oh, source water protection. Yes, source water protection plan.
Okay. So Mike Lees is on here if we have any questions, but this was the presentation he shared with the council last week. What we're asking is to approve the draft. The draft is then submitted to DEQ and OHA. They review it and approve it. That approval is then brought back to the council for adoption. So it's just steps that need to be taken.
So that's all. That's
Yep.
just informational.
And then you guys make a motion to approve it.
Oh.
I move to approve the source water protection plan draft as presented and authorize City Manager Hammond to submit for approval.
I'll second that.
I got a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? No oppose. Okay. Now we can go to financial report. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. This is our fiscal year end financial report ending June 30th, 2026. It was a busy month with our infrastructure and especially our splash pad equipment arriving and getting installed. So we're very excited regarding that. And as you can see, our other projects going on, stormwater improvements, wastewater facilities plan, you just approved for submittal the source water protection plan, septic receiving station, getting the rest of the equipment we need to do the biosolids removal of Lagoon Cell 1. So we've been very busy, both financially and in terms of all of our resources with labor. Public Works Department is really busy, a lot of hands-on with a lot of these projects as well. So I have nothing out of the ordinary to report for June unless somebody has questions.
Anyone have questions? Questions or comments? Concerns? Thank you very much.
Thanks, Marta.
City manager report.
If there's any questions.
We have an action item to appoint somebody to the housing committee. Has that been removed?
It is not on the agenda. What you are referencing is your reference document, and I just did not change the title of the motion accidentally.
Okay. My mistake. Your fault. Now I get it.
Looking at the
I'm
title.
picking up what you're putting down.
Okay. Is there any comments about the manager report? All right, council comments. Anyone have any council comments?
Don't be looking at me. I got nothing.
All right, so I have a mayor comment, and I think I'm gonna have a hard time getting through this one. I know I will. So if you haven't heard, Karen, would you like to share your letter, or would you just like me to
Share.
So the council was given the resignation letter of Mrs.
This is Boardman.
That too. I like that you're adding a little spin to it. To Mrs. Pettigrew, she has submitted her resignation effective August 10th, I do believe. And she wasn't going to be running for re-election. And she submitted her resignation for being on the city council. So when I was notified about that, I decided I was going to write something. So writing it was way easier than I think I'm going to have to read it. So when I first learned that Mrs. Pettigrew had submitted her resignation from the city council, I leaned back and thought, it's about time. But with a lot of sadness in my heart. Then another thought immediately followed. What a remarkable and admirable life of service she has given to our community. As I reflected on everything she has done, I found myself asking, what hasn't she been a part of? It's hard to think of anything significant that has happened in the city of Boardman that Mrs. Pettigrew has not influenced in some way. While I know this new chapter is well-deserved, I will certainly miss her smiling face and her joyful banter. My thoughts quickly returned to the first time I met Mrs. Pettigrew. I had lived in Boardman for only about a year or two and had just been elected to the city council in 2000. I was a 33-year-old, somewhat arrogant young man attending my very first council meeting. Back then, we met in the old city hall on the corner of Boardman Avenue and Main Street. Mrs. Pettigrew and Ed Glenn sat faithfully in the front row, listening carefully and analyzing everything we did. It didn't take long for me to realize that Mrs. Pettigrew was deeply invested in making our community a better place to live. In my mind, every decision we made had to pass the Miss Pettigrew test. Looking back, I wasn't too far off. She always had a thoughtful comment, an informed opinion, and a genuine desire to see our city succeed. I respected that then, and I respect it even more today. How do you replace someone like Mrs. Pettigrew? The truth is, you just can't. What we can do is strive to emulate the qualities that have made her such an important part of this community. Honesty, compassion, hard work, knowledge, dedication, the list could go on and on, but above all, the quality that I admire most in her is kindness. Mrs. Pettigrew always looked for the good in people. She believed in encouraging others, holding them accountable with respect, and helping them become better. The spirit is part of what has made Boardman such a wonderful place, and it is how we continue building on the foundation laid by those who came before us. You're not dead, but
I was just going to say.
You're leaving us. I suspect that even if we no longer see Mrs. Pettigrew sitting in the front row at our meeting, she may simply move to the back row or perhaps join us on Zoom, still watching closely, still analyzing our decisions, and still offering thoughtful comments. Wherever she may be, I have no doubt her watchful eye will continue reminding us to be accountable and approach every decision with the same love, care, and honesty that she has always demonstrated. Mrs. Pettigrew, I consider myself truly fortunate to have known you and to have worked alongside you for the last 26 years, first as a young councilman and now as your mayor. Thank you for your unwavering dedication to Boardman, for your friendship, and for the example that you have set for all of us. I wish you nothing but the very best in your next venture. You have earned it, and you will be greatly missed. Thank you, Ms. Pettigrew.
you for those kind words. I didn't make this lightly, but it just seems like that I just had my 83rd birthday. And so, you know, it must be time to pass the torch on to young people that have better ideas and more energy and time. I can't tell you how much I've loved Boardman. Anybody that knows me knows that Boardman is the core of my heart, that I have volunteered. And so if you want to do something, volunteer, because everybody needs volunteers. And, you know, you can lose your life volunteering, but it's really important to be part of a community, not just that part that kibitzes over here and finds fault for everything that people are working so hard to accomplish. And, you know, and I know it's getting harder to be a positive thinker. And I just can't tell you, you just have to stay positive. I know this is like an ongoing process for all of you, and I'm sorry to be leaving you in lots of ways. But like you say, there's always Zoom. And if you turn the air conditioner on here, I might even be in the building.
Is this going to be an opportunity for you to spend more time with your younger family? You going to be able to travel and do those things? No?
That she's 83.
Yeah, but she's not dead.
I've got 25 years of North Morrill Foundation paperwork to go through and destroy. Oh no, I've got tons of projects. I can even wash my own windows. No, I'm, yeah.
Just going to relax.
Well, and it's just, the responsibility. I've done lots with lots of responsibility. You know, I've always been like, hey, I can make a decision. If it's not right, we'll worry about that later. But yeah, and so I'm just a point that it's time to let somebody else make decisions.
I know it's in mayor's comments, but does anybody else have any comments?
I would just say I've appreciated the short time that you've sat next to me this whole time.
And I haven't punched you.
Yeah.
More
That's
than once.
okay. It's okay.
More than once.
You've taught a lot to a lot of people, and that's important.
I hope so. I hope that I've got a lot of young women that I hope I've inspired to work hard, make decisions. So
Okay. This
Thank you
meeting,
for your support and guidance, Ms. Pettigrew.
thank you.
hey, thanks for raising your hand, Chief Hughes.
He's not
Whatever.
the chief.
So Mayor Kiefer, with Council Pettigrew's resignation, we just need to be directed to go and advertise for that. And then also a reminder that though we have 3 open positions and applications need to be turned into our city clerk by August 26th
Yes.
by 5 PM, and that is a hard deadline.
August 25th.
5th.
Yes, August 25 at 5 PM.
And if we could have everything that's needed for the individual that's chosen to be able to come on board that day that we meet.
That was what we needed to
Yeah.
discuss. Would we like to select that person and then swear him in at the meeting?
I think you have to. I think that's the process.
Well,
I
we
think you have to.
kind of done it both ways, so we thought we'd
Mm.
get the consensus that we'll
Yes.
choose and then swear them in that day, and they'll
Yes.
take their seat.
So we just need a cutoff time when applications need to be turned in by?
Well, wasn't that the 25th?
August
No, 25th is
It's for people who are running officially.
yeah, running
Officially running.
Oh,
the election, sorry.
And who's up for reelection?
Councilwoman Pettigrew, Mr. Rockwell, and Chief Hughes.
Okay.
So
So whoever does fill in for Mrs. Pettigrew, they would, I mean, you have to run again.
So I have a question about that then. So wouldn't we need to pick somebody before August 25th? And
No.
the reason
No.
why is because what if they don't know that they get picked and then they
They
get picked
couldn't
and
run.
they couldn't run because the time's up.
We would have a conversation with people.
They could still be a write-in. They could still
They
be
would have to be a
write-in. They
write-in,
just
but
wouldn't
they
be,
can't officially be on the ballot.
Correct.
they wouldn't be on the ballot.
But they can do both. They can
They
apply
could
for,
if they know.
because even if we don't pick them, they can still run and people
Yes.
can vote for them.
Mhm.
Like, they can do both. And that would be advisable, right? If you're
Right.
gonna apply, like if you want to be on the city council, you would
have
want to
until
do,
August 25th to get.
well, you would want to apply
Maybe
for
we put
both.
that in our.
Get a little
announcement.
media blitz about it.
Yep, yep.
Okay.
We'll put in some information about those who apply. Will, if you're interested, would also have to.
I
have
was
an
just thinking a
application in
media
by the
blitz
25th.
that there's 3 openings, and if you're interested in being on the city council, you need to get your paperwork turned into the county
So to the city clerk,
city clerk
yes, everything. is turned
by
into
August
me.
25th.
So the deadline for the packet goes out on the 25th. Do we want to make the 25th the deadline for the letters of interest for the council vacancy?
Yep.
Where it is at the same time as the filing. So they would have the opportunity to do both at the same time.
I think
Yeah.
that'd be a good date.
Mhm. Sounds perfect.
Coincides, and then when they turn it in, you could say, are you thinking about running? Because you might want to fill this out and I need your $10.
Or
think
your
that's-
signatures.
Yes, or signatures.
Yeah, but you gotta have your signatures before the deadline,
Yeah.
Cool.
but there's
Yep.
10 people that work.
So
on it.
we'll go the 25th at 5 PM.
Mm.
Might as well. make it-
Sure.
Cool.
Is our meeting September 1, right?
First, it is.
Number 1. Okay,
Golly.
anything else? All right, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.